YouTube? It is Amateur Dabbler here on another Wednesday with another recipe. Hope everybody's having a great start to their week. Today's recipe is going to be a pretty simple one and not very many ingredients. But this is a recipe of something that I grew up with, and it's going to sound pretty strange to everybody when I first tell you what it is. But I got to let you know that everybody that I've ever made this dish for has loved it. And this could be used as a side dish, a main course with a vegetable on the side, or as a side dish with a protein. But this is a recipe that I grew up eating. I don't know that it was invented by my mother, but I would like to believe so. And it's something that I make for my kids and my family, and my brother the same way. It's just delicious. And this recipe is going to be buttered noodles with cottage cheese. That's right, I said with cottage cheese. And you got to try this recipe. It's delicious, like I said. The ingredients are fairly simple. You're going to use however many servings of large seashell pasta that you want. I use about half a box for 4 people as a main dish. You could probably use a quarter box if you're using this as a side. Maybe I use a little more than half, maybe 3/4. You're going to need some cottage cheese. This is small curd, but you could very easily use the large curd just as well. You'll need 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter, about a teaspoon of laurie salt, and it has to be Laurie's brand seasoned salt. You can't use anything else in its place. I've tried in the past, and it just does not taste as good or the same. And then some fresh cracked black pepper. So the first thing we're going to do to get this going is get some water going here on the stove. You could use tap water. I use bottled water when I cook just because we have well water here, and I don't like the taste of it, especially when I'm cooking pasta or rice or something where it's going to absorb the flavor of the water. So what I just did there is I added maybe a couple tablespoons of salt. You always want to salt your water when you're making pasta. Once your water has come up to a rolling boil, just go ahead and add your pasta. And cook this to just the instructions on the box. So 10 minutes for these shelled noodles. And once they're done, this recipe will come together rather quickly. So we will see you in 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. The pasta is done cooking. We're just going to go ahead and do a quick strain. Get all the water off. And then what I like to do, give it a little shake because these shells will collect water on the inside. I like to go right back into the pot with this. And the reason being is just to cut down on extra dishes, and then you don't have to worry about keeping the shells warm either because they're already in the hot pan or the warm pan. So like I said, this will come together here very, very quickly. So to the drained shells, we'll go in with our tablespoon of butter, a couple cracks of black pepper to your taste. If you don't like pepper, obviously you can omit this. And then you're going to add about a teaspoon of Laurie's salt. Now I don't measure. I've done this enough times. But if this is your first time making it, you want to go ahead and put just about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half. I'd say I probably put on there. And then just go ahead and give this a mix. You want to make sure you melt the butter before you go ahead and add the cottage cheese to this. So just mix that up till you see the butter's gone. You got that Laurie salt evenly distributed. And then to this we're going to add probably, I'd say 3/4 to a cup of the cottage cheese. I'd say there's probably a cup that I'm adding there. And just go ahead and get that incorporated in here. You want to make sure you do all this quickly because you want to keep those noodles hot. Because if they're too cold, when you add the cottage cheese, it'll make this whole dish lukewarm. So that's really it. This is, as I said, a dish of my childhood. We will go ahead and give this a little taste here. But it really, like I said, it sounds really weird. But once you try it, I know you'll love it. Everybody I've ever made this dish for, friends, family, whoever's come over and I made this, they've all said the same thing. Oh, that sounds disgusting. And then they try it and they love it and ask me for the recipe. So figured I'd just share something from my childhood with you. It's so good. And it really does, every time I eat this, remind me of my childhood. So, hope everybody has a great rest of the week. Thanks for stopping in and watching another video with me. If you have any foods that you'd like to see cooked or any gardening advice, feel free to comment down below. And as always, have a great day.